So how to handle tooltip? Okay, so tooltip is something also known as help text. Okay, when we use mouse over on some element or click on the some element, then what happened, this tooltips will come. So, okay, so what is meaning of this tooltip? This is the example from somewhere. Okay, so when we will go this, so it will do mouse over, some message will come. Okay, that text will is called tooltip. Okay, I'll show you one more. Yeah, it's coming. So if you will inspect that element, so we will get tooltip. If tooltip is there, then tooltip is implemented by using the title attribute. So something tooltip is there, definitely this title attribute is there. So by using this title attribute, developer is developing this tooltip. What do you mean of this? This, if I will go this mouse over here, can say we are getting this message GitHub, right? So this text, this is also called help text, a tooltip. Okay, so this thing is called tooltip. So I'm going to inspect this. Okay, so this thing will, how to handle this. So when you will go this mouse over, so you can see we are getting some text here. This text is called tooltip. Okay, if I will inspect this, you can see somewhere this title attribute is there. Okay, tooltip is there, means title attribute must be there. Okay, so this is title attribute. Okay, so how to handle this? Just we will see this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to capture that tooltip. Okay, and I'm going to compare this tooltip is available or not. Okay, so from all the steps are same from here to here, whatever we are going to discuss, I want to compare. Okay, this, so just expected I took this GitHub. Okay, now I'm going to find this element, this one. Okay, so not highlighting why because I missed this one more. Okay, so you have to find this element. Please mute in your side. Some voice is coming in your side. Mute in your side, please. Okay, so you can see some voices. This is where we are going to perform here. Here the tooltip is there. So just you have to find this expert. Okay, now I found this expert. Just I am going to verify this. Okay, so I found this expert here and I have written web element. Okay, so after that you have to do one more stuff here, get the value title attribute from GitHub. So we have a how to get this value. When you are going to do this, how to get this value? So we, by using get attribute. Okay, get attribute is one locator, right? Get attribute. So which attribute is present here? Title attribute. You can see we have a title attribute. Okay, so after finding this element, you have to find this attribute value. Okay, now after that what I'm going to do, just I'm going to compare this actual and expected title tooltip. This is actual. Okay, this is your actual, this one, and expected, this one. Okay, this is the thing I'm going to do this. If both are equals, then our test case is passed, otherwise failed. I did not use else condition. You can use. Okay, no problem. Okay, so this is handling the tooltip. We have to remember, if you will do the mouse over, then some message will come that is called help text. that tooltips having the get title attribute. So we'll find this element, and then after that I'm going to validate this. Actually find the GitHub at the top right. So just I find this element, that's it. I'm not using this stuff anywhere, you can see. But here what I'm going to do, I'm going to compare this expected and actual. How to get this actual? By using this get attribute. What the attribute present is the title. Okay, if I will execute this, so let's see. So you can get another example also. So try same steps, but take the another website and try in your side. Okay, so if I will execute this, just I'm going to verify this tooltip, that's it. Not doing anything, just I'm going to verify this tooltip. I do not use Max. Okay, so you can see actual title of tool is tip GitHub and test case is pass. This is the one example, and we have a one more example. This is your simple example for this, but here I'm going to perform one more step. So this is same thing whatever we have discussed, but here first we have to understand the manual stuff what I'm going to do. This is the one example. Okay, if I will go here mouse over, then we are getting this window, this web page, this pop-up, but this is not a pop-up. How to find this, it is a pop-up or not? If I will right click, you can see inspect is coming. Okay, I already taught you how to handle the pop-up. I'm going to mouse over like that, some web page is coming. First we have to find this is a pop-up or not. This is not a pop-up, this is a simple web page. Okay, so how to identify? By using this inspect. If this inspect will not come, then what happen? This is a pop-up. You have to use alert interface, right? So we have already discussed. So this thing will going I'm going to explain this. Okay, so you can see expected, I took this value. How you will take this value? Just what you have to do, just it's coming here, just expect this, what I'm going to, yes, what is NU 3.2. so if you are not able to find exact, then you can use this display get text. Okay, so you can see this value, from here you can take, this is your expected. Now we have to find this element, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to do mouse over here, right? I'm going to do mouse over. Then how to perform this mouse over? You have to first find this element, right? I already discussed mouse over. Where we have a mouse over, first we have to find this element. So I found this element here, you can see, right? So I find this, and return type is what? Web element. Then after that we'll create a action class object. Then what you have to do, just I have used one more method here, click and hold, then move to element. Okay, click and hold and move to element. I'm passing this here. Okay, so again I'm holding this, then again I am using this move to element. Okay, and build perform. So you can see I have used multiple method for action class. After that, what I'm going to do, after doing this, I am going to find this element. Okay, because I have to verify this element, what news, right? So after that you have to find this element, right? So right in your Express you can see this is the anchor link. This is a very simple, right? So by using the text function and by using the contents function you can find this element. Okay, if you forget how to find this, this is system generated Express, you can write yourself. Okay, so I find that element this, then after that what I'm going to do, I'm getting the text of this. So by using get text we will get this a string value from this. By using get text method we will get this a string value. Now after that it will return a string type. Okay, then again what I did here, I use here if else condition. Okay, else condition. I did not use else. You can use if test case is failed, then if condition is failed, then it will execute else block. So now just I am going to compare this and this. Actually what we are doing in the testing, right, you are validating this, and whatever the actual and expected both are same, then our test case is what pass. If both are failed, then we have to check it. If your script is failed, you have to try to fix this. Your script is working fine, everything is still you are facing some a script is going to fail, means what happened, verify once. Okay, verify once this is the bug or this is the what. Okay, so we have to verify. Okay, so this is the how to handle this. Another, this is also called tooltip, they have told, but you can see this is also the part of the mouse over, right? This is the also the tooltip. This is, you can see this message is coming here. This also one scenario they have given, and they have also given the name of the tooltip, so that's why I have mentioned here. The another thing we should not confuse with this is the pop-up or this is the simple web page. If it is a pop-up, then we will use what alert, but it is not a pop-up, we are able to inspect this. So simply we are going to use this mouse over and getting this performing the normal operation, whatever the validation we are going to do, means a script. We are not performing any alert and to switching on this and all, right? So this is this type of the scenario and this type of the validation is also called tooltip. Okay, so now I'm going to execute this code. Next topic is how to handle exception. So we have already know handling the exception, I already discussed in Java, but in the Selenium we having a different thing to handling the exception. So mostly exception is coming for the synchronization problem, and your X path is failed, means your element is not going to work on the script. So this is the main problem to raising the exception in the Selenium. So how to handle this, some of the exception which is important and they are asking in the interview, that thing we will discuss. Okay, so this is another topic for tooltip. Okay, so I did not close this. Okay, so this test case is first. Okay, actual title of work, this is going to display. I displayed this. I think here I displayed where yeah, this one. Okay, I displayed this text also. This is the how to handle tooltip. Okay, so just I have given this theory regarding this HTML attribute. For this case, let's take the example of this. So we will try to verify the tooltip of the GitHub icon at the top of right. In order to do it, we will first find the element and get the title attribute and verify the expected tooltip. Since we are uh, assuming the tooltip in the title attribute. We are not even automating the mouse over effect to simply retrieving the attribute and value, using this get attribute. Okay, so in this example you can see this is the different scenario. I did not use your mouse over also. Okay, by using this title attribute we are performing this operation. So that thing I have mentioned here. How? By using this get attribute method. So find the web element. So what is the method? So first what you have to do, find the web element representing the GitHub icon and get title attribute by using the get attribute method. Assert the value against the expected tooltip value. This is the another example, jQuery. There is a jQuery plugins available in the implemented tooltip and each has the slightly different from implementation. So that thing I have mentioned, whatever we have discussed. So plugins expected tooltip HTML to be present all the time next to element for which tooltip applicable, whereas the other create the dynamic div and tag and all. Okay, that second scenario. Okay, so here we have while the hovering and hover the element. So for the our demonstration, let's consider this jQuery tooltips. So this thing whatever we have discussed, demo where the mouse hovering and download link is there, and just I explored that. Okay, no need to go through this theory, just we have to follow this steps. Okay,
Mohit, I have a question.
Yeah.
What does it mean by plugin actually? The like real scenario and real scenario.
Actually, they have discussed regarding this, implementation. Okay, this page implementation. Not required to understand all the plugins and all. Okay.
So I'm just asking what does it mean by plugins? But
plugins, where plugins means you are doing some plugins like this is discussed about HTML stuff. Got it?
oh, okay, all right.
This implementation just they have mentioned means jQuery. jQuery have another for dynamic element that the people are using for this UI development. So this is the UI development, jQuery tools, and also that just I explore this thing whatever it is mentioned, and I took this example from Guru 99. Okay, so you can go through that, and Guru 99 having a different example. I told you this is not enough whatever I am teaching you. You can explore your knowledge, search more example from internet, you will get it. Okay, so search on this if you want to go for same steps also they did. Okay, Guru 99 guys. Okay, so we have a Selenium here, but if you know the basics and all, then you are able to understand this guy code. They have mentioned very complicated stuffs, and they made the code is complicated. But if you are good in Java, then you are able to understand the code and you can modify according to the requirement. Okay, so this is the one thing. What is this? Okay, same example is that's it. So exception handling, so we had already discussed right in the Java. So same thing I have written here. What is exception? So in interview they can ask how to handle exception in Java and how to handle exception in Selenium. Two questions they will ask. So, someone asked me, they went for the interview and they asked how to handle exception in Selenium. You have to use the Selenium stuff. You should not use the Java stuff. So the answer they have given, by using the try catch block we can handle the exception in Selenium. But interviewer asked, no, you should not use try catch. Try catch is the concept from Java, right? It is available in the Java. You should not use thread.slip. Is it a Java statement or is it a Selenium statement? Thread class is available in Java, in java.lang package, right? Thread is a class, then slip is a method. It is not a part of what? Selenium. So like that they can ask the question. So What is exception? Unwanted, unexpected event that disturb the normal flow of the program in the execution. Like if you are going to execute your code, I think you are learning first time Selenium, then you are facing more exceptions. Really, who are learning the first time Selenium, sometime WebDriver exception like is coming, no such element exception. So what happened when you are going to execute your code? Because of some internet issue, because of you have written wrong script, because of synchronization issue, that exception is raised, right? So just I have written, this is Java part, okay. It is highly recommended to handle the exception, the objective exception handling the graceful, so termination. So whatever the exception we are getting, just we have to handle, that's it. Okay, so I had already discussed this point. This note is from the Java only, just I will explain now. Exception handling, why we are getting the exception, right? And exception is itself a class. You can go through Selenium organization, okay, you will get list of the exception. Actually, what is the exception? Exception is a class, okay. I will relating with Java, okay. Okay, exception is a class. Actually, what happened? Something, if you are writing typo error, someone is going to develop the code, but he did some mistakes, then what happened? Terminated the program. Actually, it will terminate the program, and JVM, what the JVM will do, it will create an object and will throw that exception, because exception is a what? Class. So what happened? Your code is terminated, then JVM terminated the code and create an object and will throw it. Internally this thing is going to happen. So exception is going to raise, then how to handle? We have a GitHub, right? You clone this project from the GitHub. Something went wrong for cloning this project, one file is missing, okay. Then what happened? In your local system, that file is already available, okay. That file is missed while cloning this your GitHub, your project from the GitHub. Then one file is missed, okay. Then what happened? Yes, someone is deleted from that file from the GitHub, but that file is available on your local machine, right? So in place of GitHub file, we will use this local system machine file. So what happened? You have given the alternate solution to execute your code, that is called your exception handling. This thing I have mentioned here, okay. So we have a try catch block in Java. So by using this try catch block, we are going to handle. In try, I have a GitHub, I am going to clone here GitHub project, but unfortunately someone deleted from the Git, some files were missing, but in my system already is there. So here the file which is missing, I put on this catch, okay. So this like that we are going to handle this exception by using try and catch, okay. So in the real time they are using this also try catch for handling the exception, okay. So we'll explore this. Error I already discussed. The error means actually what happened? JDK is what? Software, right? How this code is going to, because in my system JDK is there. JDK having the JRE, having a JVM. When you are writing the code, what happens? JVM having the different area. JVM is also divided. One is called method area, one is called heap area, and one is called stack area. 3 areas is there, okay. Actually in the real time we don't have a local system to running the application. They having the servers, okay. Virtual machine. So in the virtual machine running 5 applications, okay. in my system, just virtual VMs means this is my system, right? Whatever the computer you are using, your system, just think that is a virtual machine. Actually what happened, 5 application is running. Let's see, one application is running. Your Flipkart is running in one virtual machine. Actually you can see we have a, some of the application is never down. You can see Google, you can see Facebook, Flipkart. Mostly big business is running, it's never a downtime, because if you will go with the downtime, what happen? So they're having a backup. VMs having the backup. Might be they want to some modification and changing on the application, then they will we have a set 1 having the 5 VM and set 2 having the 5 VM. So what happened, now the set two set both set is running, there is no maintenance and all are going good. Now they have some changes on the application, they need to down the application. Okay, they need to shut down the application, but they don't want to shut down. Then what happened, set 2 they will use and set 1 VMs are down. But how they are running in the application on the virtual machine, they have installed the JDK. Okay, so JDK is not there, then how the Java application is running? Simply, if in my system now JDK is not there, am I able to execute this code? No, because JDK is required. So I told you JDK means we have a JVM, we are going to interact with JVM, we have a method area, we have a heap area, we have a stack area. But while they are executing the code application, they are getting the error, heap stack area is full. This is called error. You have to explain like that, no? Whatever I explain, then the interviewer will understand, yeah, you have a good knowledge. Then I am programmer, can I go and can I delete the memory inside this stack overflow? No, this is not a job of developer and this is not a job of tester. They're having a different team. This we have a Linux team and they have also DevOps team. So this guy is working on this VM stuff, virtual machine. So they will go inside this file and whatever the unwanted file is there, that file they will delete it. Yeah, might be they will uninstall this JDK and they will install the JDK again and again they will run on the system. So this is called your error. So error, we will not able to handle this. So most of time error is not caused by the program. Programmer means what? Developer is writing the code and just compiling and going to execute. They are not checking the JVM stack memory, and they are not checking heap memory, and they are not checking the method area memory. Okay, so this is not a job of developer and tester. Due to lack of system resources, error is not recoverable. Okay, so out of memory error occurs when a program we cannot do anything. Program will terminate abnormally. Okay, so who is responsible? This admin is responsible to increase the heap memory. Who is the admin? Linux team and DevOps team having this guys have a admin. So these guys will work on this and they will fix this error. Done. Okay, so this is the difference between error and exception. This is interview question. So how to handle exception in Selenium? So we have a scenario, right? So we have already faced this. So consider a scenario in which we have to find the element with the help of XPath, ID and name. If the Selenium is not able to find that element, then what happens? It will throw the no such element exception, right? It will terminate your program. And so in this we have to use try catch so that we can save our program termination. So we have this, I have put it on in try, and we are catching this exception we are going to put here. Okay, how to handle illegal state exception? Okay, so this is the another exception. So we are getting the multiple. Actually, when you are getting the exception, so if you will do more and more practice, you know that how to handle the exception. sometimes some new exception is coming in the real time. You are working and new exception is coming, and try to check your code why it is coming this, not able to find, search on the Google. That's it. You will get more and more solution. If you are in the real time facing the issue, don't think too much, search on the Google and try to fix it. Definitely will get the solution. Still you are working, you are facing some issue, not able to resolve, not able to understand how to resolve this, search on the Google and try to resolve yourself. So this is independent employee in the company. We should not depend on anyone, right? Why? We should not depend anyone. Okay, so make it the independent. I'm not caring about this. Yes, someone will help, that is a different thing, but we will not. So make it more practice, and also you will get this experience. So root cause of illegal state is we have not specified the path of the driver. Okay, I think you guys, if you will not set this path properly, then what happen? You will get illegal state exception. This is the one scenario. Okay, until we don't specify the correct driver, then what happen? Details. Then Selenium will show this java.lang.illegal state exception. How to resolve element not visible exception. Okay, so reason for the element not visible exception in WebDriver, we have a duplicate XPath. When you are writing the script and by mistake if you use duplicate XPath, then what happen? We will get this element not visible exception. So while writing the XPath for your application, you might have taken XPath that is matching with more than one element. In this case, will throw element not visible exception. If you are trying to access some particular element on the web page that is not currently visible, in this case also will get element not visible exception. So how to try to solution is what? Try to write Unix XPath that matches with a single element only, and you can use also explicit wait features of the Selenium and wait until the element is not visible, and once it is visible, then you can perform your operation. So we have a two solution: find the unique, and we have another solution to use this explicit wait. Okay, element not clickable exception. Okay, so it is mostly happen what happens, system is going to hang. Okay, so it is mostly happen in the Chrome. If are mostly working with Firefox, then you will not get this exception, element not clickable exception. We will only in the Chrome. Okay, Chrome, why we are getting this? Chrome does not calculate the exact location of the element. Chrome always click on the middle of the web element. So this experience will come while you are doing the practice. Okay, sometime you will get this exception due to synchronization issue. What is the solution of this? Update your Chrome driver in the latest version. Get the coordinate, then click on this link button and use the try to click the by X coordinate. Okay, so we have this some code is also there for handling this exception. Just I have mentioned this code. Okay, it is like we are going to use this JavaScript we have used this. So X by coordinate we have already discussed, right? So if you will get this type of the exception, try to use this. That's it. Okay, you will get more and more solution. Okay, so don't worry about that. You will get more and more solution on the Google. Main problem is that while working in the real time, you have to struggle. If you are going if you did not work before and you are going as an experience, so you should not struggle more, because if you follow me and you are doing the practice yourself, this basics, after learning the basics, I will explain the framework. I have three framework. One is a simple, one is also the like Maven framework, and one more is there. Three frameworks. So you will get more clarity of this after explaining all the stuff. Then you will get then after that you can enhance your knowledge yourself, how you can do more and more practice. search on the Google and try to implement and design your framework. Like I told you, I'm reading from data from the Excel. You can read the data from the XML file also. You can read the data from the properties file also. So this idea will come when you will do the practice and when you will think more. Okay, so like that, you can read the data from the XML file also. Okay, so like that, every company are using, so you will get more clarity. Okay, how to resolve invalid element state exception. Where you will get this invalid element exception? So when we try to perform some operation which is not applicable, then it will throw invalid state exception. Wow, let's see. Assume if text box is disabled. Okay, developer is already disabled this text box. Then if you try to perform some operation, then it will throw exception. Okay, that text box is, they disable this and you are going to validate this. So in this type of the scenario, you will get it. So if the radio button and checkbox or any other web element is disabled, if you are trying to perform click event, then it will throw exception. Invalid element state exception. So always try to perform the required operation based on the element state. Okay, if required is there, then we can perform the operation. If it is clickable element, then perform the click. If it is support type element, then perform the send keys. Okay, why I am commented this. Okay, this is like one example I have given this. If the element is disabled, then enable it first, then perform this operation. If our case, if we want to pass the data forcefully, then we can do this JavaScript executor in Selenium. So syntax error, enter in this. Okay, leave it this. Okay, not required. Just if you are getting, because what I have written here, value I pass, but I did not give the example, because in this scenario where I will get this exception, if you will get this exception, just remember 2 steps and you will get this code also. Okay, so leave it this. So we have one stale element exception. So stale element exception, sorry. Okay, so what I have to do, if you are facing this type of exception, just I have given one example. Okay, so here you can find the multiple solution on the Google. Okay, don't depend on my solution. You can get it more and more solution while handling your exception. Okay, because a lot of the people are posting, keep on posting on the Stack Overflow and in the Google also. So you will get more and more clarity. But we have a basics idea when we are facing the exception. First we will check your XPath. First thing, mostly time the exception is coming for your failing the XPath, and second thing, your synchronization problem. So synchronization problem will explicit weight and implicit weight, we can use this mostly. Okay, 90% you can able to handle by using 2 steps. Okay, stale element, what I am going to do here, if you are getting this stale element, this is the validation part. Okay, so after that what I did here, I repeat these steps. Okay, so just I refresh it and again I will find this element. So by using this, after that I use this clear button and this send keys. So these are the steps to handle a stale element exception. But whatever the exception I have mentioned in this notes, what is your job? Just type on the Google how to resolve this exception. Okay, this is your assignment. Got it? Whatever the exception I have given, search on the Google how to, if you are getting some new point, add in your notes. Okay, if you are facing while executing in the script, then note down, make one note in your Google Drive. Why I am telling the Google Drive? If you are working in the company, keep on the things inside this Google Drive. If you have some important code, keep on the Google Drive. You can use somewhere, and you can, if you have an interview, you have a time, then you can every notes, Selenium, Java, whatever the important notes is there, keep on your Google Drive. You should not search anywhere. If you have an interview, if you have half an hour, at least we are able to revise all the stuff. So keep on the Google Drive. That is the best thing. Okay. So if you are getting notes and all in one place is there, then that is good. You can use somewhere also. How to handle calendar? Actually, in this calendar steps is also okay. So approach to handle the calendar. So this is also the interview question. How to handle the calendar stuff? How to handle the multiple window, frame, and what drop down, alert pop up, mouse over. So these are the common interview questions. So this is also the important. So approach to handle, so what have to do? Actually nowadays they are also having having the different implementation and UI I have seen here, but two scenario I will discuss here. Click on the calendar. So what you have to do, first I will show you this manual step so you guys are able to understand. Handle Webtable. Yeah, this is one simple example I'm going to do first. So what you have to perform, okay, so if you will click on this, okay, you can see we are getting one table. Okay, so this thing steps I am going to do this. First steps we have to click on the calendar. So I click on this, right? This steps you have to perform in the automation. Now get all TD table by using this find elements methods. Okay, using for loop and get text for all element. Okay, and we'll put on the condition if else condition and we'll check and specify the date. If date is met, then click on and break the loop. This is simple validation of calendar. Okay, so Webtable, a table in the web page manage the web element structure. So TH means table heading, table data, and table row. So this is the one thing. Okay, actually this they have changed this UI, make my trip. Okay, so I will give you this example. Okay, so same thing whatever we have discussed, so all the steps are same. So I already discussed how to find the number of table row percent inside this. So by using this tag name, and we have a tag name tr size. So by using this is your interview question. How to find number of links, how to find number of frames, how to find number of row, how to find number of column. So these are all the interview questions. How to find the number of drop down, how to find the number of radio button, how to find the number of checkbox. All are your interview questions. So just we will use tag name. So tag name for tr for row and tag name for td for column. Okay, just by what I am going to do, just I am going to display this. This is not a part for handling, just I have given this for your interview purpose. So now here first steps I am going to click on this. I am going to click on this. We will inspect this. So here ID is there. So directly I use this ID. Here ID is there. You can see we have a date picker ID. So I directly use this. I am going to click on this. This is your first steps. Second steps. So second steps, get all TD of the table using the find elements. After that we will get all this value. Okay, so now so now I am going to capture all this element and I am going to store inside this list. Okay, we have already seen one, where it is, select, how to display this date, month, right? Same thing, all this, I find this element. Okay, I found this element here, this all, this table, but I want to select all the data which is available inside this table. So now you can use td. It is selected all the data which is available in this table. So where you have a store, I have a store inside this list. What is meaning of list? I told you now, list is a container inside this, and list is working on the object type of an array. So internal data structure is array. So it all the data will store inside this list. Okay, array, right? You are storing the value, so this data is stored inside this. After that, I have used for each loop here. It is working like simple. You can use here for loop also, no problem also. Okay, so after that, I'm going to iterate this by using this for each loop. So return type is what? Web element. Here you can see I have given the variable. In the for each loop, you have to give the return type. So return type is web element. Here you can use any variable. Okay, I use here ELE. What you are going to iterate? I'm going to iterate this list value. This is your for each loop. Okay, it will iterate whatever the value which is available inside this list. Size, whatever the size of the list which is available. Now I am extracting this by using get text. So get text will get the data, will going to display this. Okay, I have put it down one condition, date, this date, if it will come 28, then it will click and break that code. So these are the simple steps, or you know how to select this 28 date. It will select like that. So this is your manual step going to perform in the script. Okay, so this is your okay, so I'm going to execute this. Okay, so it's going to execute this. So it will select on 28. Okay, so it is going to work. So this is your simple steps to handling the calendar. This is the one steps, we have a TR and TD, but you can see before I was also have given the example of this make my trip, but this guys are completely changed this UI. This code is not going to work. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, just same thing I did here, just I have create this same steps I'm going to do. We have a this go IBO, will go inside this. Actually right now the people are using the different technology for developing the UI application also. Okay, but concept are same. We will find this and we will perform same steps, right? So you can see if I will click on this destination, I think I don't know which validation I did here. Okay, I think this one I did. Okay, so what you have to do, first step, we have to click on this. So we have to find this element, right? I found this element. Okay, so now I find this element departures. So you can see this the steps I did. So I find this element now. Here the UI is different. So I have to click on this. So after clicking this, okay, this the steps I did. After clicking this, I have to capture all the data which is available inside this, right? Then we are able to click on this, right? So this data, so how to, then what you have to do, you have to, so this, I have selected this, so we'll find this, then we will get all this table element, not a table, just we'll get all this stuff. Now we have to also get all this. So here, when actually what happened, when you will find this element, so all the XPath is very simple. Don't copy my XPath, you will do the practice. Now this is the one table. That table having the TR and TD in this. You can see if I will go here, okay, this, sorry, it's not coming, okay. So we have a table tag, you can see we have a table tag. If I will go inside this, we have a TR, TS, TD, right? We will go inside this and extract this. Okay, we have a TR and where is TD? Okay, just we'll go inside this. Actually you will get TD also. Okay, that's why I have selected for all. Okay, because TD is there, you can see TD tag is there, but every UI having the different implementation. Okay, so in this example, if I will go and will search TD, okay, it's not there. You can see the implemented this, all this data they have implemented on the div tag. You can see if I will inspect this, we are getting only div tag. So this type of the UI, if UI is different, then we have to find this. So what happened, I use here div tag. So you can say now I'm able to find this. Okay, so we have to extract and we have to check this how they have implemented. Before example, we having the TD for all the data, but we have a now TD, because if you will not select all the data which is available in the table, then how to validate this? Okay, so now same step, just I have this UI is completely different here. So now by using this, we have a story inside this list. You can see I use here for loop. You can use here for each loop also, no problem, but I use here for loop. Just I'm going to display all the data here, just I have printed it. If it is not required, for just checking purpose. Then again I did same steps, I apply this. So we have a get text, so by using this we are getting this text here. So from here, if 30 equal ignore case, if 30 will come, then what happen, it click on this and after that it will break in this. So this the steps are same, right? I did not change anything. I use here only for loop, and here while finding this all the elements I use here div tag. Okay, so now I'm going to compile this. Sorry, I'm going to execute this. So it is executing or not? Okay. It is slow, that's why it's taking time. So how to handle table, this is the important. For handling your exception, synchronization problem, mostly time will come, and failing the X path. So this is, mostly 90% exception is coming because of this reason. Okay, synchronization problem and your this X path, failing your X path while executing your script. So mostly time you can, if you are running the code on your system, if you are doing the practice, so this type of exception will come. And don't depend on my example. Do more and more practice, and you will get more hands-on experience. So you will not face any problem in the real time also. Okay. So let's click on this and not clicking. Let's click on date of 30. Okay, so this is the steps, how to handle this table. So this is your how to handle this table. So we have this is your, I have mentioned this notes. Okay, when you are finding the list of the element, then select all the TD as well, otherwise XPath will fail. In place of the TD means whatever the data available inside this table, we have to check it, this implementation of this UI. Okay, in place of TD, in this web page we have a div. Okay, so we have a one, go to Airbus and go to make my trip. Lot of the menus are stuff is their website. So just do the practice yourself. Okay, so I'm stopping your session. I will send you this notes and do the practice. We will not do